The higher self is the part of you that is always in touch with truth. It is egoless, and for us as humans, it remains grounded by our human experience. When we access higher consciousness, we are tapping into something greater than just the self. We tap into the collective, or the greater whole of the existence of everything, and we become hyper aware of the interconnectedness of it all. Higher consciousness is an elevated or expanded way of feeling, thinking, and being. Higher consciousness is not bound by negativity, and it does not act from fear, anger, or aggression. Higher consciousness is always acting from a place of love and compassion. Being human, we won't always exist in higher consciousness, but we can have small glimpses from our various experiences. Like when we meditate or practice yoga or do something we love, we may experience those small sparks of enlightenment or expanded consciousness. So when they do occur, we can practice being present with them. When we do this, we will, as a result, experience more of them, or at least notice more of them happening when they occur. When we practice being fully present in moments that are easy to be present in, it can help us learn to be fully present in moments that are difficult to be present in. It can help us learn to access the higher self, even in our lowest moments, even in the most challenging times. So practice when things are good, bright, and colorful, but also practice when things are bad, bleak, and dull. Train yourself to access your higher self in all circumstances. Hello everyone and welcome to yoga. I'm Ashley and today we are doing yoga for the crown chakra, Sahasrara. This is going to conclude my series of chakra wellness classes. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Feel free to close your eyes or gaze at a point out in front of you. Take a moment just to drop in and connect with yourself. Noticing how you're doing, how you're feeling, what you're thinking. And you can start practicing being compassionate and kind toward yourself here in moments like this, where you notice how you're feeling, how you're doing, how you're thinking. And even when undesirable thoughts, emotions, feelings come up, you can practice that compassion toward yourself. And in a sense, that can help you take that into the world toward others, toward more difficult people in our lives. Take a full breath in. Exhale completely. Gently open your eyes. Let's begin on all fours, hands and knees. We'll begin with a few rounds of cat and cow, lengthening your spine, lifting your chin, broadening your sitting bones, and then rounding your spine, tailbone through your legs, chin toward your chest. Move with your breath at your own pace. Maybe even closing your eyes, allowing the wisdom of your body to move through you. Maybe bringing more organic movements into your body. Downward facing dog. Lift your thighs, reach your heels back toward the floor. Grow your arms and legs longer. Push firmly through all four corners of your palm. And lift the center of your palm away from the floor by squeezing your ring finger and thumb toward each other. Allow your head just to drop, your armpits to lift. This next one, you have two options. I'll show the first First option is melting heart with your knees on the floor. Reach your arms forward and take the crown of your head to the floor and just allow gravity to push forward into your head. Option 2 is from your downward dog, taking the top of your head to the floor by pushing your hands down and forward, feet down and back, taking the crown of your head to the floor, gently pushing forward. It'll take a little bit more strength than the previous pose. Anytime you have weight on your head, just make sure you're evening out the weight with other contacts with the floor. Make sure you're pushing your nose toward the floor a little bit. That way you keep strength in the back of your neck. Push your hands down, lift your head up, come down onto your knees, come into a child's pose, forehead, tip of nose on the floor. Bring your hands by your ears, shoulders back, lift your chin, and sit up. Bring your knees and ankles together, toes curled under. Slide your knees back and have a seat on your feet. Interlace your fingers in front of your heart, back of hands on top of your head. Pull on your fingers, squeeze your shoulder blades toward each other, and then straighten your arms. Push through your palms. This shape here with arms overhead with your hands clasped is very symbolic of crown chakra energy, kind of creating this imagery of it over the head. Take your hands back to the floor. Step your right foot outside your right hand. Back knee down. Take forearms to the floor. Feel free to use block under your arms or just hands on the floor instead. Allow your head to drop forward. And breathe here. Feel free to swing your hips side to side or be still. Half Hanuman. Take your hands to the floor, lift your torso up. Take your right foot to the front midline of your mat and straighten your leg, toes off the floor. And fold toward your right leg, heart first, head last. Again, allowing your head to drop and bow forward. Anjaneyasana. Step your right foot flat on the floor. Slide your back knee forward so the skin of your knee moves down toward your toes. Press your tailbone forward, lift your torso and arms. Maybe grab your hands. Maybe index finger points up or all fingers point up. Press your tailbone forward, shoulders back, throat back. Gaze upward towards your hands without crinkling your forehead, without clenching your jaw, and without crunching your neck back. Lower your hands. Step back to all fours. Step your left foot forward. And fold inside your left leg. Feel free to swing your hips a little side to side. Hands to the floor, half Hanuman, Ardha Hanumanasana. Take your left leg straight in the middle of your mat and fold over your left leg. Forehead toward your knee. Anjaneyasana, step your left foot flat. Slide your back knee forward, tailbone forward, torso up. Reach up, curl back, gaze upward. Lower down, come into a downward dog. Bring your knees back to the floor. Knees and ankles together, tops of feet on the floor for rabbit pose. Take your bottom back to your heels, and then take your index finger and thumb around your bottoms of your heels. Round your spine, press your tailbone forward, and take your forehead as close to your knees as you can. And then lift your hips, taking the crown or top of your head to the floor. Let your arms straighten. Again, not putting too much weight in your head. Lift your shoulders away from your ears and onto your back. And squeeze your inner feet toward each other. Slowly roll out. Hands by your ears, shoulders back. Lift your chin and sit up. Come to the front of your mat with your feet wide, about as wide as your mat. Bend your knees enough so your ribs and thighs touch. And allow yourself to just drape your torso over your legs. Either keep your fingers on the floor or grab your elbows. Maybe swing side to side, letting gravity pull your body and your head toward the floor, creating traction. Bring your fingers back to the floor. Bring your feet all the way together. Push through your inner and outer feet. Knees again still bent enough so that your ribs and thighs touch. Then drape yourself all the way over your legs. Bring your face toward your shins, shoulders away from your ears and onto your back. Reach the top of your head toward the top of your feet and breathe here. Push hands down and forward, feet down and back. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Bend your knees, sit back down on your bottom, and then roll onto your back. Place your feet on the floor so they're hip distance. Point your toes straight ahead. Bridge pose. Walk your shoulders in toward your spine. Push your head, shoulders, and feet down and lift your hips up. Grab the outer edges of your mat or interlace your fingers. Walk your shoulders in again. Keep your chin lifting to keep the back of your neck lifting. And breathe. Release your hands. Lower your hips. Rest your knees together, feet wide, hands wherever comfortable. Urdhva Dhanurasana prep, full wheel prep. So this is just taking the top of your head to the floor first. Take your hands outside your shoulders. Point your fingers out slightly, palms flat. Take your knees and feet hip distance apart. And then push through your hands and feet to press to the top of your head. On the top of your head, make an equilateral triangle between your hands and head. And then push the top of your head or your nose toward the floor so you keep a curve in the back of your neck. Pull your shoulders back and away from the floor. Then push your feet down and away from your hips to roll more toward your nose. Hold. Stay here or straighten your arms, full wheel. Rotate upper inner arms back, curl back. Lower all the way down. Rest knees together, feet wide, or feel free to do some windshield wipers, letting your knees rock side to side. Go slowly, gently. And then roll to one side, press yourself up. We're going into fish pose, Matsyasana. Bring your knees and ankles together. Take your forearms to the floor. And then start to scoot your hips closer to your heels and your elbows closer to your hips. Lift your sternum, pull your shoulders back, throat back, head back. You can stay here or drop the top of your head to the floor. Make sure you're pushing even weight between your head and your hips. Take your legs out straight to a diagonal, almost straight up toward the ceiling. And then take your arms straight up, palms together, and hold. Breathe. Keep the back of your neck long, but push through the top of your head. Push through your hips. Bring your feet down, elbows down. Push through your elbows to flip to the back of your head. Again, feel free to do windshield wipers or knees together, feet wide. Then roll to one side, sit up. Either headstand prep or headstand, just follow along and stop where you need to. I only recommend you going into the full headstand only if you've done it before and you know what's going on and you're well versed in headstand. So we're gonna take our hands to the floor, so they're shoulder distance, and then take your head where the tip of an equilateral triangle would be on the floor. Then here, just like you did in full wheel, you're gonna push the tip of your nose toward the floor, keeping a curve in the back of your neck. Now, when you put your head on the floor, you're putting it where, if you were a unicorn, your unicorn horn would be. So make sure that's the place, not the very top. Now from here, push your hands down, shoulders back, push your feet down, lift your knees up, and maybe walk your feet in. Again, keep pushing your nose toward the floor. You can stay here or take one knee to one elbow, maybe lower it, other knee to that elbow, maybe both knees to both elbows, shoulders away from the floor. You can stay here or bring your knees together, knees up, feet up. Headstand 2. Knees to elbows, feet to the floor. Child's pose. Knees wide, toes together, shoulders to knees, arms by your side. Just breathe here, relax your neck. Place your hands by your shoulders. Lift your shoulders up, lift your head up. Slowly lift yourself all the way up and have a seat on your bottom in a comfortable cross-legged position, sitting on anything that helps you be more comfortable in this position. And just close your eyes or gaze at a steady point out in front of you, taking advantage to all of the energy we brought to the top of the head, leaning into that feeling, the sensation that you feel. Maybe moving a little deeper, a layer under that, moving into the experience in your own way. Keep your breath steady and deep. 1 minute here. Take a full breath in. Exhale, let it out. Really visualize yourself rooting down through your hips as you rise through the top of your head to balance the two energies, the uplifting and the grounding. And gently open your eyes. Thank you so much for joining me for this practice. If you enjoyed this practice, please hit the like button and also feel free to leave a comment below. And if you haven't yet subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit the bell so you never miss a class I post. Have a wonderful rest of your day.